Good morning, everyone. It's Lita. How are you today? Happy Monday. How are you guys feeling after Thanksgiving, huh? Of course, we Canadians already had our Thanksgiving in October, so we're long done. But you guys just had all your festivities and gatherings and everything. So pop on here and say hi and let me know how it went this weekend. Because I know I read in the group that people had some wonderful food, some were keto, some were not keto, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Find out how everybody did. Good morning, Hannah. How are you today? Hola. Yeah, so I was reading some really interesting things in the group. It's really interesting the perspectives that people have. There were a lot of people that stayed true to keto, and there were a lot of people that went off, and some people that went off planned to go off happily, and some people it just kind of happened and they were kind of disappointed. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So say hi, let me know that you're here. Good morning, Leanne. How are you? I am drinking my black coffee this morning. So I have a plan this week that I think I'm going to 0-calorie fast for a couple of days, see how that goes. I feel like I'm really, really fat adapted right now. I've been doing really well with my plan. So I'm going to give that a try and see how that goes. And if I feel like it's not, I don't want to keep going with that, then I'll just add some fat and I'll probably break my fast, but I'll see how it goes this week. Let's see. Hannah said we had keto meals. All family loved it. Awesome. That's great. So did they try some new things that you were making for them? And like something totally brand new? Probably your usual favorites too, right, Hannah? Like your turkey and your ham and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, bringing your family in and getting them to try your stuff, that is really awesome too. That's awesome. Yeah, I did that for our Canadian Thanksgiving. I kind of did that too. I brought in some things. I did a roasted, oh, so good. I love Brussels sprouts even before keto. I love Brussels sprouts. So I roast them and I actually use bacon fat to drizzle all over the Brussels sprouts, and I slice them up like in thirds, and then bacon bits and Parmesan cheese, and it's so good. Everyone loved it, right? So keto or no keto, you can just add that in there. Hello, Kelly. Good morning. So what I wanted to talk about today was Thanksgiving and how you decided to do it. Like I just almost want to take it like a little poll. If you guys pop in there and just say, good morning, Sandra. And just say how you, like, prior to going into it, obviously you gave some kind of a thought to it, right? So some of you may have said, I am sticking to keto no matter what, right? And then some people said, no, I know that I'm going to go off, got it planned. And then some people, they were sort of like somewhere in the middle. Well, I'm going to try and be good, but kind of watch it, not sure, whatever. So pop in there like what you had sort of thought of prior to Thanksgiving. I know with myself, I had decided that I was going to pretty much stay the course. But if I decided I wanted to have a little bite of this or a little test of that, I would. I gave myself that permission to do it. Turns out I didn't really do anything because of it, but I gave myself that permission. That's what I did going into it. Hannah, my sister and brother-in-law also contributed to the Thanksgiving dinner keto-oriented. Nice. Wow, you can get people actually jumping in with you. That's fantastic, Hannah. Yeah, I didn't really have anybody help with mine. I was like 100% on my own, but that's okay. No problem with that whatsoever. I'll take a little swig of my coffee here. I gotta tell you, I know I say this every single time. Black coffee, it's definitely growing on me. It's not as disgusting as it used to be. I did it as like I had to have something, right, to get me through. but it's so not as good. I mean, when I have my fatty coffee, like I said, it's like this energy comes down from the top and energy comes from the bottom, and it meets somewhere in the middle, and I just get this like euphoric feeling or whatever. Anyways, that's a separate thing. Good morning, Kim. I'm so glad that you could be here. Keisha, ahead of time I planned to go off, but I was still trying to avoid sweets. I had some stuffing. I successfully avoided chocolate pie. Oh, that's really good. That, you know what, even just to eliminate some things, that's really, really good. Yeah, stuffing's pretty good. It's really funny though, like over time, because I've been keto for quite a while now, there are things that used to be my favorites and now they truly are not. I'm not just saying that like, oh yeah, I didn't have it. I mean, I truly don't even want it. And the main thing I notice for me is anything bread related. I just really have no desire for it whatsoever. It's like the stuffing, yeah, I can sit there. It just really doesn't do anything. The buns, even the pie or whatever, just anything that's like wheat related, I guess. I just have like no desire for it. I mean, I would take a bite because, just to try it or whatever, but like, I don't crave it. I don't go, oh, I really want to have that thing. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like over time, if you guys find that the longer that you've been on keto. But anyways, oh, Hannah just had her fatty coffee. I'm really jelly. I'm really jelly. But anyways, I'll have mine soon enough. Maybe tomorrow, maybe this afternoon. We'll see how stressful my day is. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk about this, about Thanksgiving being over and now what, is because depending on what your thought process was prior to going into Thanksgiving, I think makes a huge difference on how things go after. So for example, back before I was keto, so back in the bad dieting days of my life, I was either good or I was either bad. Okay, so following a diet, doing it to a T, doing it perfect because I can do it. And then something comes up, like Thanksgiving or something. And I said to myself, oh no, I'm still dieting. I'm still holding true to it. But then at some point during the festivities, I would want to give in, probably because I wasn't fat adapted and I was totally starving and my insulin was spiking high, but that's like a totally different story. But so I would go off. Okay. So and that in itself is not that big of a deal, but I felt like a total failure, right? Because I didn't stick to the diet. And I felt really, really bad on myself. And so I had these thoughts in my mind, like, you don't have willpower, you're not strong enough. Once again, you failed another thing, those kind of thoughts. And I'm sure you guys understand what I'm talking about. So that's what I used to have before I started keto. And it didn't help me at all, because what would happen is after that little Thanksgiving or whatever it was, instead of getting right back on, and eating healthy and exercising and all that, no, I wasn't perfect. So why even bother? Why even bother trying? So now Thanksgiving rolls into Christmas and Christmas rolls into January 1st. And okay, what is it? I actually wrote it down. 29 days. So from now, it's 21 days till January 1st. And that's what I used to do to myself all the time. It was very, very common. So it was like I went off a little bit. I had done well prior to months before, and then I went off and then I stayed off because of the thoughts that I put in my head. Plus it was a crappy diet, but again, that aside, I still could have eaten healthy. I still could have exercised, but I negated all of that because of the thoughts that I put in my head. So that's why I was curious about what you guys had sort of said to yourself prior to Thanksgiving. And good morning, Carol. And because now my thought process is totally different. And I know that there's people in the group, because I've seen the conversations, we've talked about it. There's some people in the group that there are reasons why they need to be 100% strict keto. And those are your reasons, right? So if you're metabolically challenged, meaning you have like diabetes, right? And you know that going off is really going to trigger your blood sugar. Or say you're new to keto and you really don't want to veer off. Or maybe you have food addiction issues and one bite can turn into a huge binge. You know yourself and you decide for yourself. But if those things are not an issue, and we're talking about like the mental things that we put in our heads, that's really what I wanted to talk about today. Because my thought process is totally different now. I mean, I've been on keto for like about 2 years now. And my thought process now is that keto is my lifestyle all the time. It is just what I do every single day. But when something comes up like a vacation or Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything like that, if I choose that I want to go off a little bit, I have now taken that out of my mind, those thoughts I used to have. I don't think that anymore. I don't think I am good if I'm keto and I am bad if I'm not keto. I don't think that anymore. This is my lifestyle. And if I choose to go off a little bit and be higher carbs, then I'm going to. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it. But I also right away have a plan. So, and I will fully admit, I'm going to go back to August because I did have a little bit of a backsies in August. And that's what really cemented this in for me, because I did go off a little bit and I did kind of feel a little bit bad about myself. And I spiraled just a little bit in that month. And I realized, wow, it's the thoughts that I put in my head. It's the things that I say to myself that make all the difference in the world. So I snapped out of that, come September, we had a reboot and everything. And I snapped out of that and I vowed I am never, ever, ever going to say those horrible things to myself again. It is ridiculous and it is not necessary whatsoever. And it certainly doesn't help anything. So again, what I say to myself now before I go into these holidays is, if I decide I'm going to go off a little bit, that's fine. But I have a plan immediately, right? As soon as I go off. So I don't know about you guys. And if you had a plan like for today, or maybe it was yesterday, whenever your festivities were over, but I have a plan immediately. So like, if I had just like a little nibble of something, it's like, okay, that's no big deal. And I'm going to go right back into my keto plan just as per usual. But if I went off a little bit longer, like some of you guys, I know some of you went out of town early, like earlier in the week, and you probably had dinner after dinner. And so it was longer, and maybe you're off a little bit longer. So I'm going to take a little sip of my coffee. And so if that's the case, and your insulin levels are higher and you're feeling like you're not, in the zone or whatever, then your plan might be that you're just going to say this week, you're not going to have any grains or sugar, and you're just going to cut those out for this week. And then you'll get back into your keto when you're starting to feel the energy come back and you start to add the fat and that kind of thing. But I always now have a plan. So number one, I go off if I want to go off and I don't feel bad. Number two, if I do go off, I do not say negative things to myself. I do not. I look myself in the mirror and I say, you're awesome. I literally do that. I go, you have absolutely nothing to feel bad about. I mean, look at the way I'm eating now compared to how I lived my whole life prior to keto. It's like 99.9% better than anything I ever did before. I have zero to feel guilty about. And then thirdly, what is my plan? Know what my plan is, right? When I'm going to go back, what is that plan? And get right back to that plan, okay? Because what we don't want is, we don't want to take Thanksgiving and turn it into, well, what's the point? Christmas is coming, right? Yeah, well, Christmas is 23 days away. 23 days. So what are you going to do for 23 days? That's a long time to be doing really healthy keto. And it's 29 days till January 1st. And we certainly don't want to wait like a whole month, right? So how much could we get accomplished in a month? We can lower our insulin, we can lose fat, we can lose inches, we can feel amazing in our holiday outfit. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but like I already have my Christmas dress picked out and my outfits and stuff. And I'm not going to, I want to feel really great in my skin before that. Right. So 29 days till January 1st. So we definitely don't want to let all this time go by. So I'm just going to read a couple little things here. This is from Keisha. I feel like keto focuses a lot on feeling full. Fatty coffee makes you feel full. Healthy fats makes you feel full. There's a paragraph here, Keisha. A little bit more aware how my body feels. Yes, exactly. And also, prior to going in, most of us anyways, good morning, Deb, we're fat adapted, right? So to pop off a little bit and have, those little treats that you want to have or whatever, it really doesn't take very long. When you're truly fat adapted, you can pop on and pop off pretty quickly. I'm not saying that's what you should do, because obviously we have a goal of being healthy and we have a goal of losing fat and inches and stuff. So we don't want to do that all the time. But all I'm saying is that it's not that difficult for your body to switch back and forth once you're really fat adapted. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, the big deal is the mental. I feel very strongly that that is the main thing, right? It's the thing that keeps us from coming back. I saw so many people in the group say, oh, I can't believe it. I had that mouthful of this, or I decided to have that. I feel so bad about myself. And it really breaks my heart, because I know how that felt. Like, I used to feel like that all the time. And it's just so unnecessary, right? Like, wouldn't it be so much better to say, yeah, I had that thing, whatever. Yep. Back on my, keto lifestyle now. I know Beth said it. There was quite a few people in the group that had that attitude. And it was really, really refreshing, because, we've had this group for, I'm going to have to look back, but I'm going to say like a year and a half to 2 years. Maybe it's 2 years. I have to go back and look at the date. And from when we started, the vibe has really changed. Like, I hear more and more people saying, it's no big deal. And I'm right back on it. And that's what I really love to hear. So that's why I want to talk about this today, for those of you who are still struggling with the mental aspect of going off. If that's what you did for this Thanksgiving, honestly, give yourself a break. Totally just take that off the table. I'm just going to see who else wrote down here. I always forget to scroll down. I'm not like a Facebook Live pro or anything. Kim is going on vacation soon. How should I adjust my fat intake? No, I'll be cheating. I wouldn't even call it cheating, but I get totally what you're saying. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I do, Kim, because I go on quite a few vacations myself, and I admittedly am not perfect keto while I'm away. So what I do leading up to being heading out of town is I lower my fat. I wouldn't say like I increase, basically I just lower my fat. I kind of keep everything else the same. And I kind of convert myself a little bit to being more low carb. And the reason being is because if you're high fat and then you throw a bunch of carbs on top of that, that's weight gain right there. So you don't want that. So I could slowly convert myself to a little bit more low carb. And while I'm out of town, that is what I'm striving for. I still have good fat. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have my capsules in my purse and I pop them or whatever, because they're so healthy, and I do want some of the fat. But what I mean is I'm not so high fat, because the odds are really, really good that I'm going to be higher in carbs, either by alcohol or by food, right? So if that's what I'm doing, then I feel it's a little bit better. Like, either you're going to be really keto or switch it to low carb. That's what I do. And it works really well for me. And then when I get home, it's sort of the same thing. I gradually increase the fat until I get back to where I was before. And it's worked really good. Back in the olden days, when I really said, I'm going to stay keto and I'm really going to do it, I actually gained more weight because, like I said, the carbs were higher, but I was throwing a ton of fat on top of it. Because, like, I don't know about you, but I'm not tracking. When I'm on vacation or whatever, I am certainly not tracking. So you may think in your mind that you're keeping your carbs really low, but I guarantee you they're going to be higher than when you're at home. So anyways, that's what I do. I have no volume, trying to read your lips. Oh, shoot. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if that's just a me thing. Wow, that would really suck if you can't actually hear me. Maybe somebody could just pop in the chat here, just say, yes, I can hear you, or no, I can't hear you, because then maybe there's something on my end. Well, crap. I'll take a sip of coffee while somebody tells me if they can hear me. I hope it's you, Karen. I hope it's just you. Anyway, I'm going to keep on. I'm seeing some likes and happy faces, but nobody's actually commenting. Like, actually type it in. Yes, I can hear you. No, I can't hear you. So I'm guessing you can't hear me if you, oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna type it in here. Can you hear me? Is that going in there? Okay. Oh, there you go. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, great. I didn't scroll. There's a little bit of a delay in here. My last name is Delay, so maybe that's why. But anyways, there's a little bit of a delay in here, and so I couldn't see. So yes, you can hear me. Okay, well, I'm sorry, Karen, that you can't. There must be something on your end, but I'm glad that you can hear. Yay, look at all the people that are here. Awesome to see you guys. I know sometimes the morning isn't as good, but I kind of feel like, starting the week on Monday, it's sort of the same topic that I have for my motivational post, which I'm going to be posting around 8 o'clock. And so it's the same theme or whatever, and people can watch the replays. And then I'll come on in the evening and have a little chit chat sometime to catch the people at night. But, I think it's nice to have a little chit chat in the morning. Good morning, Arcana. I'm going to say it wrong. Arcana. See, now I'm questioning myself because I know I had it right before. And then I just second guessed myself just really quickly. And now I think I said it right. Yeah, I think I said it right. Okay, so this is how we're going to wind this up, okay? So we have 23 days until Christmas, okay? So however you did this Thanksgiving, once again, please, 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 please do not be hard on yourself if you decided to veer off of your keto. Just go, whatever. It is what it is, right? Because that tiny little blip of what you did is nothing compared to right now what you're going to do. Okay, because we've got 23 days till Christmas. We've got 29 days until January 1st. That's lots of time. And most excitingly, we have 8 days until our 3-day group bone broth cleanse. So I want to talk about that too. So I want you guys to get really good and back into your keto, okay? So whatever you need to do if you're not in it right now, like I said, maybe this week you're just saying no to grains and, sugar. Obviously, you're going to say no to that, and then you're going to gradually get back into your keto. But I want you to be really good and back into your keto if you're going to be doing our group bone broth cleanse, because trust me from experience, if you're not really fat adapted and, in the zone kind of thing, it's harder. It's a lot harder, right? So the better fat adapted you can be prior to doing it, it's like when you are, it's like effortless. Like I'm telling you, like you could ask people in the group that have done this cleanse. It is honestly effortless. There's rarely any hunger. You feel on top of the world. You're cleansing your body. You're just like, oh my gosh, just even getting so excited about how like my skin, just after doing that cleanse, it's just glowing and it's just so awesome. And I always say that I'm just going to do it on my own. And then I never do, right? So I should do it more often on my own, but I think it's so much more fun when we do it together as a group. Like it just gets me so jazzed up. So that's why I want to do it every month, because it forced me to do it. And then you guys can join and it's super fun. So good morning, Carla. Hello. I'm glad that you could join us. And Pamela and Carmen. Okay, nope, you messed the name up again. I totally had it right before. Arcana. Oh, Arcana. You have to spell it out phonetically for me. You did it the last time, and then I'll read it. Last time you sent me a little clip to YouTube, and then it said it, and that's great. But I need you to spell it out phonetically, like exactly how it sounds, because then if I read it, it sticks in here. I don't know, for some reason I have to read something in order for it to stick in there, and then I'll get it right. I don't know why I keep getting that wrong. I'm so sorry. It's like my name too, right? It's Lita. But a lot of people say Letta, it's just, it would make my life easier if it was just spelled phonetically right. Okay, anyways, so 23 days until Christmas, you guys, we're going to totally kill it. Who cares? Thanksgiving, however you did, this is a new day, okay? We're starting fresh today, whatever that means for you today. If today is just, you're just going to eat whatever, that's another thing that I do that is a real winner for me. If I've kind of gone off, and I'm really not feeling the energy and the euphoria of keto or whatever, and I'm feeling kind of like a carb craving, I say to myself, I can have as much as I want, whenever I want, as long as it's keto. So no grains, no sugar, nothing like that. As long as it's keto, I can have as much as if I want to have like 4 fatty coffees, I'm going to have 4 fatty coffees. Like do whatever it takes to kind of get in the zone. And then you can like wean yourself into like what you would consider your normal keto day or whatever. Do that, because we've got 8 days until our 3-day group bone broth cleanse. And it's going to be super fun. And I want you to be really fat adapted and feeling the energy before doing that. And I'm just going to mention, in case you guys don't know, that today is Cyber Monday. And yay, that's not very exciting to some people. But if you're looking for really good deals, today's a good day. So if you didn't get it before, my products are all on sale, like really good price, 20% off everything, Amazon.ca, Amazon.com, and website intentionallybear.com. And if you're going to be doing the 3-day group bone broth cleanse, you're going to need this. So you're going to need my bone broth powder. There's some people that use only this to do the 3-day cleanse, and that is super successful because it really keeps you full. Myself personally, I do a combination of this and regular broth that I make myself. But being that today is Cyber Monday, I just want to mention that this is on sale, but also, and you can probably, for those of you that don't like to make your broth, oh, by the way, Unit 5 has all the information on how to do the cleanse and how to make the broth. If you guys don't want to make your own broth, because I know it's like you guys, a lot of you work full time and it's actually not a lot of work, but if you haven't done it before, or maybe you're just not into it, or you don't have the bones or whatever, make sure the broth that you buy is from real bones, okay? Real bones. Now mine is free range, it's organic. I got this from Costco and I'm in Canada, so pretty confident that if I can get this in Canada, you guys can get it in the States. You might even have this exact same brand in the States. It's actually quite tasty. So this is my backup if I don't have. So these are the two things that you're going to use mostly in the cleanse, okay? And then secondary to that, this is super helpful. You don't have to use it, but it has electrolytes. Oh shoot, I was going to bring my potassium citrate. Okay, and I add potassium citrate powder to this because this does not have it, but spoiler alert, in the future it will. That's all I'm going to say for now. But add potassium citrate to this, and then it's like basically your perfect electrolyte, and it doesn't break. Well, we're doing a cleanse. It's not even a fast, so there's nothing to break, but it really, really helps with your energy and your electrolytes when you're doing the cleanse. Okay, so that. And the other thing, I'm testing something this round, and anybody that wants to join me can. When I originally wrote the 3-day bone broth cleanse, and that's based on, keto doctors. Okay, so FYI, I am not a health practitioner and I am not a doctor, okay? Make that very clear. But I follow doctors, naturopathic doctors, regular doctors, whatever, and I take what they have and I kind of put it together in bite-sized pieces that we can follow. And one of them is the 3-day bone broth cleanse. And the original protocol didn't call for fat originally. And that was, a year and a half ago or whatever. But since then, I've heard a lot of keto doctors saying, why not just add some fat? Because you're doing a cleanse, you're not doing a fast, and you're getting your fat in your bone broth anyways, especially if you're making it yourself, you're leaving in the skin and all that kind of stuff. So you're getting the fat anyhow, so why not? So this round, I'm going to be adding this into my regime. And so what I'm going to do is how I give you options of different ways that you can do the 3-day bone broth cleanse, I'm going to add a more fatty option. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I've kind of tested it here and there, but really just for a day. I haven't really done it for 3 days, but this time I'm definitely going to do it for the 3 days. And if anybody wants to join on that, so I'm going to add that. I'm going to change the information in there so you guys can do it if you want to. But anyways, as I mentioned before, today's Cyber Monday. So if there are any products that you need, they're all 20% off. So today would be the day to get them. So yeah, just add that in there. Good morning, Laurel. Good morning, Carol. When you do the cleanse, can you exercise? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can exercise, especially when you take this. I'm going to tell you, I take this first, like mid-morning, and then I do my workout after that. And you can ask so many people in the group that use this, okay, for even forgetting about the cleanse, but even just regular keto, they take this and then they do their workout because it just really, really gives you such awesome energy for your workout. And then, like I said, you're getting your electrolytes anyway, so why not? But yeah, I totally, during the cleanse, 100%. I mean, unless you're not feeling it or whatever, but I haven't heard anybody say that they couldn't do it. Again, though, I just want to say you really need to be fat adapted. This wasn't really the talk about the cleanse. I'll definitely have more talks about that because now that Thanksgiving is over, now we can really talk about the cleanse coming up. But I'll say it since we're talking about it here. Being fat adapted prior to doing the cleanse makes all the difference in the world. And also, if you're brand new to keto, I wouldn't suggest doing this 3-day cleanse. Just watch us this time, and we'll do it. We're going to be doing it every month, right? So then you can join in, but you really want to be fat adapted because you don't want to feel hungry, right? So when we do this, your body is going to pull your fat, what it's needed for energy. But if you're not already fat adapted, you're just going to be hungry. So that's the difference here. So you definitely want to be fat adapted prior to and being new. No. Yes, exact. Carolyn says she's going to do it with the MCT powder. From my little bit of experimenting, I did not notice any difference whatsoever as far as, I wasn't weighing myself, but I took my measurements, and compared to what I had done before, I didn't notice any difference at all. Like, it still worked just exactly the same. And the point of this cleanse, as I've said before, is we're trying to infuse our body with collagen and amino acids and minerals, and we're healing our gut, and all of those things, besides being amazingly healthy for us, will help us with our fat loss efforts going forward, because the healthier we are, the more we can release fat. So I am not worried at all about using that fat. And I've heard so many keto doctors saying that they're doing that now. So I think it's going to be really good. And it also makes things a little bit more enjoyable too, right? So now I'm going to add the MCT powder to this. What I'm not going to do, just to keep this apples to apples experiment, I'm not going to, this time anyways, use my MCT oil, the liquid oil, only because it has so many more calories than the powder, right? Because the powder is only 65 calories. And I just kind of want to keep this sort of close to the original plan by just adding a little bit fat and just seeing the difference. And then maybe someday I'll use the oil, but I just don't want to throw too many things in the mix, or else you're not going to know, right? So I think it's going to be good. Lisa is awake. Wow. Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, because this is what, an hour earlier for you, I think. Yeah. So Amazon, Karen, I am so sorry. Okay. So Amazon.ca, I am so very, very sorry, but we're out of stock right now. We had this huge surge of sales. And the hard part is that we try to predict the best that we can as what sales are going to be. And then it's a long process to ship up to Canada, and then it gets checked in, and then And so because of this spike that happened a while ago, we're a little bit behind. And then sometimes at the plant, we can't get them to go faster for us because there's a queue. So I'm very, very sorry. You can order from the website. I know that's not ideal because it does take longer. And there, to get free shipping, it's $59.99 plus, and you get free shipping. So you know what? Karen, message me if the website isn't an option. I can even see if maybe I might happen to have one of these here, and maybe I can ship it to you. So why don't you message me in Messenger, and then I can talk to you about that. I'm really sorry. I hate out of stock. It's like my biggest pet peeve is when we're out of stock of something. It makes me so irritated. What is the name of the PF, the broth? Okay, I'm thinking, Pamela, you were asking about this, or were you asking about, well, I'll hold them both up. Do I have the English side or the French side? Okay, good. English side. Okay, so, okay, I'll hold them both up there. I'm not sure which one you were. So this is hilarious. Okay, so I still have the products here that say naked, but now they've come up, now they all say bare. Okay, just so you know, this is the old name. The new name is Bear. But this is just what I have here in my office. So I will get updated ones. But anyways, this is what they look like, Pamela. That's what you were looking for. Yes, Bernice, the MCT oil does have a lot more calories. It's like, what is it, 130 calories. That's what we're talking about here, what Bernice is talking about. But it doesn't matter. Okay, so when you're doing your regular keto plan, it really doesn't matter. Okay, you just factor it in. You need high fat. Okay, in order to do keto properly, you need high fat. And if you're going to have high fat, honestly, at least it's turning into like an info commercial, but you can't possibly do any better than a pure C8 oil. So I encourage you to have that in part of your day. You know, I really do. calories don't really matter as much. I mean, they do to some extent, but not as much. But for the purpose of the cleanse, I just kind of want to keep the integrity of the original cleanse, and I don't want to throw in like tons of calories. And the reason being is that I don't know. I think from, like I said, the original protocol wasn't as high. And so adding a little bit more fat is great, but I don't want to throw in way, way more, because then I'm not going to know. I can try it differently next time. But for regular keto, oh no, you want a high fat like that, Bernice. Don't worry about that. Karen, darn it. Sorry. Good morning, Cindy. Okay, so great. Glad that you guys joined at the end. So that's going to be it for me. I'm not going to keep you guys all day. You've got things to do. But I'll just sum it up again. If you guys went off on Thanksgiving, brush it off. Who cares? Moving on. Say to yourself, today is day one. Do whatever it takes to get back into your normal keto, okay? So even if you have to like 4 fatty coffees today or whatever it takes to get yourself back, do it. Just don't, I don't know. I mean, if you guys have leftovers or whatever in the fridge, but it's okay to let others have the leftovers and, you guys get back into your keto. But you guys decide what you want to do. If you want to Thanksgiving on for a couple more days, that's totally up to you, and don't even feel bad about that. But like I said, we're 8 days away from our bone broth cleanse, and the more fat adapted you can be prior to, the better. But I'm going to do a different post and a different, probably Facebook Live about the bone broth cleanse, okay? So I'm going to let you guys go for today, and I hope you have an awesome, awesome Monday, and I will talk to you into the group. Okay, bye you guys. Hey guys, before you go, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time we have a new video posted. Also, down in the description, I will have links to everything that we talked about in our chat today, including information on how you can join my Intentionally Bare Keto support group. See you next time.